Okay, so I'm originally an architect and a visual designer. I know not many of you are architects here at the moment, but this presentation will help you understand how to do branding on your own profiles as well. So this presentation will be about the tips and tricks to have a very outstanding portfolio, not with the help of AI. But before we get into that, landing on any design-related job will need a portfolio. Is there anyone here ever made a portfolio or website for their work?
Good.
Yeah? No? Okay, we have a few. So what you want to show in your portfolio is basically who you are in the business world. So it needs to represent you. That's the point where you have to be authentic about your work, about the understanding of design. And before you stand out to this, you need to make sure you're reaching out to the right audience. And how can you do that? In the design-related fields, it's much more common to actually reaching out to the companies you want to work with directly. So you will basically make a list of your dream companies. It doesn't matter if they're looking for somebody, because if you're talented, if you're a good designer, if you're a good web developer, whatever, they will consider your CV. So make a list and keep track on that list who you have applied. It is, by the way, okay to apply twice or however you wanna apply for, but just keep track that you don't send the exact same portfolio many times. And you need to make it clear with the cover letter. It doesn't matter if you take help from AI with this one, just make sure that it serves the purpose. And also you may check the Chamber of Architects. This one is of course for architects, but I'm sure in your field, there must be some governmental body that is hiring. Yes, we have been discussing here for private companies and sectors, but some of us might actually go to the Chamber of Architects and see all the listed jobs. I don't know if you have Chamber of Engineers or whatever, but go for it. So here I have listed some platforms that are specific for visual designers, architects, and graphic designers, marketers, whatsoever. But Behance specifically also allows you to look for jobs and get hired, and also hire professionals. So you might want to check that one. And this is kind of the list that I'm talking about. You just put the contact information of the companies you want to apply for, and you want to take notes if you apply to them, if they said yes, no, or they're considering. This will really help you grade. So about your CV, actually I will go directly to portfolio. Because in your portfolio you must have your CV as well. First 2 pages, first page, depending on your experience. You have to show what have you been doing, what did you study, and so on. And a little bit of a short profile on your, I mean, you can talk about something, what inspired you the most about choosing this sector. And you need to highlight the relevant skills. You need to make sure you are showing measurable skills. You can't just put like team management and that's all. No, you have to put how you have been managing a team greatly, or you have to give some sort of an identification, like you're good with the software, but how good are you with it? Like you need to explain what projects you have completed using that specific software. Of course, this is a design portfolio, so you have to have a good color palette, theme whatsoever. It's a way of talking to whom you want your next boss to be. So you're showing them who you are with this portfolio, and make sure to keep it not longer than 10 pages and not bigger than 10 megabytes usually. Maybe less than 10 megabytes is highly appreciated. Do you think, okay, this is actually much better on my laptop. Okay, when you see this image. Can you tell me what do you think, how it makes you feel?
Relax.
Sad.
Sad?
Yeah, I don't live there.
Do you think this is like a good picture? It gives you good feelings? Yeah. Yes, sister? Okay, where do you think this building is? Where is it? Budapest? Great guess, yeah? This building doesn't exist. It is not an AI generated picture, but this building does not exist. It hasn't been built yet. And what we do with our portfolio, our design intention, is to bring what's in our minds to life without actually bringing them into life. So actually, if I may show you, this whole part, starting from here, including the building, is 3D modeled. So I'm sure some of you are gamers here. Have you ever heard of Unreal Engine? Yeah? Who heard of it? Yeah, what does it do, Unreal Engine? Sisters? No gamers here? Okay, so
it's like the engine of the graphics or something?
Exactly.
It's generated, like, it's not bad. One is, and there's this other one, it's very, like, famous for mobile games. It's like, I can't remember that one, but there's another one.
It's okay.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, Unreal Engine is now the most popular and the most developed one, but we architects are usually using Corona Renderer. So what the render engine does is basically take a 3D model, texture it, and bring it to life as a lifelike picture. So it even allows you to actually take a walk around, and what you see, what you feel is not real, but it is real. That's why it's called Unreal Engine. So these skills will actually help greatly in your career if you're thinking about becoming a visual designer. And actually, you don't even need to finish a 4-year of architecture school for that. Take a class, take a course of 3ds Max, take a course of Unreal Engine or Corona Renderer, and you will be able to make, okay, I can't promise that you will be able to make this, but you will be able to make really good lifelike images. This is another one. Do you think this is real or it's a photo? It's not real. No, this one is not real, but the previous one was made with Unreal Engine, and this one is made with Corona Renderer, so you can see the difference. But this is actually intentional. So sometimes you want to make it a little bit less realistic because the building hasn't been planned yet entirely, so you don't want to show the materials that good. You haven't decided it yet, but you still can use and present very good images. And the last one is an interior image. This one is in Dubai. Do you think it's real?
Yes.
Yeah? No? This is all I need, that you are unsure. Because as long as you are not 100% sure it's not real, that means I did a good job. So this is 90% 3D generated, but the background is real. Sometimes we use photo backgrounds and mix it with 3D. You know what they say? It's hardest to detect a lie when you mix it with a little bit of truth. So in your portfolio, yes, you will lie a little bit, but we're Muslims. We're not gonna lie, of course. You will cheat a little bit, but you will make sure to show your authentic self. So let's say you have sent your portfolio, you did a great job, they called you, hey, can we have a first interview? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna talk about? Maybe it's your first job, you are really nervous, so this is what you need to be knowing. Doesn't matter which field you are, but especially if you're in the design related field, they are gonna ask you questions about your passion, what's your understanding. Sometimes they will give you little tasks to finish, which by the way, I don't recommend you to finish it 100%. Like, don't give your 100% to those tasks because we're not free labor. Yes, he agrees. But you'll have to ace that first interview, and Sister Fatma will talk more and more about this actually, how to handle the interviews and everything. But what I can tell, like, what will give your boss the idea that you want this job? Like, you imagine yourself working for this guy 9 to 5, I don't know, like for 3 years. What will give him that idea? You have to ask 2 or 3 questions. Any ideas?
What's the question? Again, I should ask them.
Yeah, you should ask your future employer a few questions that will make him believe this girl, this guy wants to work for me. Really, he wants to work for me for a good amount of time.
How is your day-to-day operation?
Yeah, you took it from my...
No, I didn't have time to read, but it's important.
That's a really good one, actually. Yes, ladies, any ideas? The team structure? You want to know who you are working with? Yeah, good. Ladies are more people-oriented. Okay, both answers are actually correct. But there is also one question that's not here, and that will give you immense stress. Like, you don't want to ask that. You don't want to ask that, but I promise you, if you ask that question, it's not recommended to ask that one in the first interview, but just the first one was better. No, it's not that question, but I wish we could ask that one too. The question I'm talking about is at the end of the interview, they will ask you, do you have any questions for me? And you will tell them, yes, I have one question. Based on what we have been discussing today, based on what we've discussed, do you think I have any, do you have any ideas I should work on to get this position? Do you think I have any shortcomings that you have in mind that will prevent you from giving me this position? I know it's a very hard one to ask, but this is from also an American HR specialist, this question. She tells people to ask this question because, one, it will give you a clear answer and you will not wait by the phone if you will get this job or not. You will not wait for it. If it's a no, she will tell you, no, we have actually better candidates, you lack this skill whatsoever, you will know. And second, it will give you the chance to actually fight for the job. If he or she tells you, well, your portfolio is really good, but our company is operating with AutoCAD and SketchUp. We don't really use Revit. We don't really use 3ds Max. These are softwares. And you're going to be like, oh, but I'm actually learning SketchUp. Or you're going to be like, but I actually want to learn SketchUp so much. I started this course. I got this course in my college. Or, I don't know, don't lie, but if that's the case, it will give you the chance to fight for the job and maybe even get the job. I'm in my 5th year of my career. Right after college, I have been working, hiring, and getting hired for 4 or 5 times already. And I can tell you, 100% rate, this question works. If you have any questions for me, now is the time. Any questions? Yeah.
Isn't it not easy to be diplomatic when answering this question as an interviewer? So when you ask me this question,
Yeah.
I can easily give you a diplomatic answer to close the interview.
Actually, no. I mean, based on my experience, they get shocked. They never get this question.
Yeah, because of the shock. Because after the interview, you have to review it first with the stakeholders for the interview, and maybe there are other candidates. So we need to do comparison. So this is also diplomatic answer that, okay, we will take into consideration your inputs and we will discuss and
Yes.
contact you soon. I cannot tell you, oh no, tell me now. Then it's unprofessional, I think. To
Well-
push a feedback at the first time, it's kind of a red flag maybe.
Red flag.
Yeah, like if you're pushing for a job, this is just my opinion. So if you are trying to push in the first interview, this maybe shows that how you're in need in that position. And this is one of the things that you shouldn't show the interviewer. It should be chill, it's fine. You're in different interviews and this is one of them. And after you finish this interview, it's done. You consider yourself rejected. If you got acceptance, it's okay, let's discuss it. But
Okay, I understand the question. I mean, it's not a question, it's a statement. The thing is, especially in design-related fields, you're not dealing with HR people. You're not dealing with 150 employees, companies. Like, you will be talking with another architect. You will be talking with another project manager. He or she doesn't really care about how do you see yourself in 5 years. No. He wanna know what you can put into this job. You wanna know what you can learn and how willing are you to learn. So he will just be like shocked and he will be maybe impressed, actually, based on my experience. They will be impressed and they will be like, okay, this girl or this guy, maybe he doesn't have the 100% ready skill set. She doesn't check all the boxes, but what she checks is willingness and enthusiasm. And he's not afraid of showing that. So I recommend this for smaller scale companies with not, maybe you're not gonna be hired by Sister Fatima, like who's dealing with hundreds of people. But yeah, all suggestions are valid and I understand.
Just want to add something to what Thomas said, actually, that it's true for senior positions, you don't want to come off as desperate, because you need to do some homework, actually, how much they
Yes.
are in need of you, or how much are you in need of them, basically. So,
Exactly.
so the negotiations are in the middle way. And if you are senior already, and you know your skill set, then you basically know that, first of all, you know how it went, and even if it's a field is very big, basically, just use like the right set of vocabulary. So you just ask at time maybe that, do you have any feedback for me? I use just this sentence normally. So it's a very open-ended sentence, you know. If you have any technical feedback, any personal feedback, they can let you know. But you don't come off desperate as well, so they don't really try to push you down when it comes to the negotiation step. So, but I'm at a senior level as well, like 5-6 years of experience, so that's why I now know that how I don't have to come off as desperate. But a fresh graduate is desperate. If it's a junior position, then it's maybe fine to show a hint of desperation because you really need that job as well. So
Exactly. Yeah. That's actually a very good point. Like these things that I'm talking about, actually, some said that maybe it's your first job that you want to get. So you know you have some shortcomings and you don't want to actually polish them with lies or anything. You acknowledge that you lack some skills, but what you want to do is to show them, is to tell them you're not desperate, but you want to learn. Like you're one of, because Gen Z is kind of labeled as like they don't want to work or they don't want to learn. So we're trying to reach out to our boomer bosses here to tell them yes, we do want to learn. So thank you very much for listening.